And as the country awaits the President's fourth State of the Nation address, the halls of Batasang Pambansa are also expected to turn into a virtual runway of politicians donning Filipiniana attire. Pia Bonalos tells us about the history of the Filipiniana.
A butterfly fluttering around, attracting bystanders with its sheer beauty. This is how Filipinas are depicted as they don the traditional Filipiniana. The traditional dress usually takes center stage during significant events such as the President's State of the Nation address. What is now reserved for important occasions evolved from the daily attire of our ancestors. Fashion historian Danilo Franco says nearby countries trading with the Philippines then influenced the creation of the barot saya we all know today. It consists of a white top with long sleeves, the baro, and a black skirt, the saya. When Spaniards arrived on Philippine shores, they were scandalized with the flimsy material used for women's clothes to fit the tropical climate. So they added the tapis, tapi meaning cover, to go over the skirt and the alampay to cover the bosom. A move that was supposed to make Filipinas look more conservative actually gave way for women to show off their curves. Filipinas tie the alampay and the tapis close to their body, making the sleeves voluminous and giving it a serpentine silhouette.
You can consider our lolas as really very sexy and very sensual, but to them it was more of a nature, innate, something that is innate to them, unspoiled. They didn't think of it as something immodest.
It was during the time of former First Lady Imelda Marcos when designer Ramon Valera decided to do away with the tapis and alampay and just keep the butterfly sleeves and the silhouette. This is the terno we are familiar with today.
We didn't have designers then, so nobody would think of it that somebody had the foresight to do it. So it came about because of certain circumstances.
The innate elegance of the Filipiniana has caught the eye of international designers.
There are some designers abroad who even took our Filipiniana or the sleeve that we have, the butterflies, even using their own fashion shows. Aside from the silhouette, sometimes they'd even use the material. For one thing, the Jean-Paul Gaultier came out with a collection using our local ikat and local pinya. It's getting there. It might not be for everyone, but to spice up, let's say, a collection, to have a different silhouette or different material, they use our Filipiniana materials.
Local designers say the national costume has a timeless glamour.
The elegance of a Filipiniana. I mean, a Filipiniana is very sleek, very streamlined. The sleeves are, it's sculptural in a way. So it's something new, something different rather, for most people out of the Philippines.
Nag-i-evolve siya, but still, yung andun pa rin yung dapat pagiging classic talaga. Kasi ako, mas practical ako, mas gusto ko classic ang ginagawa ko para after like 1-2 decade, uso pa rin siya.
Agasang says it is a must for every Filipina to have one in her closet.
Huwag matakot mag-invest kahit isang bonggang terno or isang simpleng terno. Mag-invest ka kahit isa sa wardrobe mo para at least pag dumating ang time na kailangan mo, maisuot mo yan. At the same time, bilang Pilipina, may pagmalaki din natin ang isang man lang, meron tayong isang collection ng Philippine terno.
No matter how elegant a Filipiniana is, however, it will only shine with the woman who carries it well. But Tan says there is something about this garment that transforms Filipino women.
Instead of just walking, parang you glide, there's a certain air. Your chin is slightly raised higher, your shoulders are more square. It automatically gives you a sense of elegance when you wear a Filipiniana.
Eyes will definitely be on those women who will wear these gowns that bring a rich history of sensuality, resistance, and elegance. Pia Bonalos, Solar News.